Like, I don't know about yourselves, but logically, my preferred option would be, we need rid of Garnacho. Garnacho wants to stay in the Premier League. Aston Villa,
Possibility.
Ollie Watkins, swap.
Yeah, I would take Ollie Watkins over Benjamin.
I would take Ollie Watkins and swap Garnacho. We're saving 350 grand a week with Rashford. Surely at eventually we'll get, Sancho out of the way. And Anthony, don't forget about Anthony. Still has to get a club.
I'm sure. Well, apparently Atletico Madrid are looking at Anthony.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, see, this is all a party, Rory.
There's nothing concrete. Again. Apparently Anthony's willing to take away a stop to play for Real Betis. Apparently Garnacho is willing to take away a stop to go here. Apparently Jadon Sancho's taking away a stop to go to Juventus. All horseshit.
Any sort of gossip or sound bites are not coming from the British journalists. They're all coming from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
There's just nothing concrete about it.
No, nothing.
It doesn't really bear thinking about. Like, apparently you drive yourself mad. Also, we'll sell Anthony to flipping Atletico Madrid and Garnacho will go for $100 million. It's so hypothetical nonsense. Yeah. What's the crack? Welcome to the Irish Boys podcast. Back after a couple of weeks of annual leave. A few different holidays on the go. I was in Torquay. Kieran was off for a week. Celebrating the anniversary, I think,
it was indeed. Finally got a bit of decent weather in Ireland for a change, so bit of tan, sunburn, they're leaving the country.
Nice one. Mum, you were minding my dog.
And wandering around Tesco's as usual. So same old.
Class. So let's get into it then. There's lots to talk about and absolutely nothing to talk about, I feel. So the lots to talk about is we had Cunha the last time we caught up. Now we've got Mbeumo.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, positive
45 days later.
Yeah. One of the longer sagas in Manchester United's transfer history. So, all positive from Bryan Mbeumo in his first interview. Did anyone watch it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it. It was very good news. Just what things he had to say, and that he loves the club and all that he wore. He grew up wearing a United shirt, and still a big club, and obviously shows to most we're still a big draw, even though we've been absolutely terrible on the pitch. But all good words, all good things.
Still a big club, prestigious club.
Yeah,
I think that's it. We're a prestigious club. Well, I don't think we're a big club in the sense of being a big club, but we're definitely a prestigious club. We're a club with a very rich history that a lot of players have probably come from, families and stuff in Cameroon and across, especially the likes of Asia and stuff, where they've supported Manchester United. So the likes of Bryan Mbeumo, it's nice to hear him talk that way. Right, so on to the and it's not a negative, right? I'm just going to make this comment. It cost 141 million to sign Cunha and Mbeumo. How do we feel about that?
Money well spent.
Not bad. I was a wee bit lower than that. They're 130 something, but it doesn't really matter. But I suppose I think it's good for the numbers that they've pulled compared to what's the likes of Chelsea have spent on 5 or 6 players. And
Chelsea bought Pedro and Black for the same money.
Yeah, but look what Liverpool spent on that young striker from where was he from? Eintracht Frankfurt.
Ekitike.
Yeah, how much they spent? What, 80 million on him or something?
He has 44 senior goals.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So I mean, if you want a player through the door, you have to pay the money to get him through the door.
Oh yeah,
Frankfurt are Champions League club, they're not.
He's still a young striker.
Sorry?
He's still a young striker.
He is, but did Frankfurt not compete in the Champions League? So he's marginally more expensive than the 13th best team in the Premier League. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. It is a lot of money that Manchester United spent. No, but you have to play both sides. You can't just have the United glasses on all the time. And yeah, it's brilliant. We took in Brentford's best player, and Brentford's, toss up between him and Wisa, one of Brentford's best players and Wolves' best player. And we spent our transfer budget essentially to do so. And now that all the rumours are saying, United need to slow down because they need to sell by. So that's all I'm saying. I'm trying to play devil's advocate and say to you, it's a lot of money for 2 players that
It is.
Yeah, well, technically we've spent 30. Technically we've only spent 30 something million.
How?
They're installments.
Isn't that why?
Chelsea
Wasn't that the hold up? Wasn't that the hold up with Mbeumo that they wanted to pay in installments?
Chelsea,
and because they wanted to pay in installments, they had to pay more.
It was the size of the installments and how many installments it was going to be. That was kind of the whole stickler of the thing. But
yeah, Chelsea have done this all now because Chelsea don't pay anything up front. They stagger out a deal over years in installments, and that's how Chelsea can afford to buy the amount of players that they can. Well, that and the fact that they've rather brilliantly won the Club World Championship. I thought they were awesome in that final.
And they're good at selling players, Rory.
They are very good at what did they get?
Yeah.
I know.
55.
Yeah.
That's come on. I got like I'm
we're
sure
giving away ours.
Wish they could take over and sell a few of our players, like.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We're practically giving them away to get them off the books.
Well, I think we knew that would happen though. Chelsea have been good at bringing players in but keeping their youth players at certain wages. Manchester United are an absolute shit show in the sense that there are players on undeserving wages all across our club. A very minor one to look at is if you look at what Tyrell Malacia makes, it's the reason that Manchester United can't sell him. He is a low average player earning above average.
130 or something, isn't he? Over 100.
It's stupid. Eric Ten Hag gave him a long-term contract because he was like the first signing, I think, in that window, the wee mystery signing that came out of nowhere. His contract was ridiculous, and I know he got that bad injury, but he never looked like he was going to be the starting left back of Man United. Yeah. But he is paid starting left back money, and it's the reason Celtic apparently now have walked away. They've said no, if he's not going to compromise on his wages, and you don't want to pay him the commission to get away from your club, well, we can't do business with you, so it's done.
Yeah, that or we got to pay another severance package.
He's doing anything you can do.
But apparently there are a couple of Dutch clubs in from, which is good news for us.
Yeah, well, also, so we thought PSV were going to take him back, but they decided not to. Apparently, didn't they?
Yeah, this is the thing. It's fine saying they're interested in him, but it's kind of the same as Juventus. So I'm sure everyone has seen the breaking news today that Juventus have put the Sancho deal on hold because they simply can't afford to deal with Jadon Sancho's wage demands and a transfer fee on top of that. So they have said, look, we will buy Sancho if we can sell off Timothy Weah or another player. And that's the unfortunate situation they're in. We're not just poor at buying players at the minute. We're very hard to do business with. So I think that's why they overpaid for Cunha and Mbeumo, just to get those two in through the door. We needed 2 10s to play either side of a forward. And United just couldn't be seen to be chasing Cunha and Mbeumo and not get them. I would say if you asked Jason Wilcox today, if you were talking to him and said, did you really want to pay up to 70 million from Mbeumo? We'd tell you not a chance. But would have made us look stupid to negotiate for a month and a half and not get him. So
I maintain as well. Is that like we mentioned the move for Wisa by Newcastle, kind of same thing Arsenal done, putting us back on the hat, or we're back in the race for Gyökeres to get Sporting to compromise and agree the deal for Gyökeres, get it over the line, basically.
Yeah, Gyökeres didn't want to play for United. It's that simple.
No.
He's holding out for Arsenal. The same way as Mbeumo was holding out for United. Because at the end of the day, Brentford wanted a bidding war. They wanted like a Newcastle and Tottenham to come in, and the lad said no, that he would stay at Brentford. Apparently this is, Ornstein said it, that he wanted United.
Was he linked to he was linked to Spurs? I never read he was linked to Newcastle.
No, the director of football at Brentford is a season ticket holder for Newcastle.
Oh, okay. I don't know where he fits at Newcastle. They bought Anthony Elanga, who plays in the same position. Yeah. Spurs, right. But choosing between Spurs and Manchester United is kind of like choosing between Burger King and McDonald's. They're both shit, and you know what you're going to get. They're in the exact same position. Only Spurs are the Europa League champions, and we're not.
Oh, see, this is it. Spurs are Champions League.
No, Spurs are still Spurs.
So it doesn't really fill me full of hope. And I'm not hitting on the Mbeumo deal. I just thought it's a lot of money for a player.
We paid through the nose for him, but he's in. So
yeah, and
I think that's what's holding up other transfers as well, because we paid through the nose for him.
Yeah, and it comes back to the last time we spoke. And you guys were saying, Owen Brown and Cunha would be enough to get United up and challenging. I watched them play Leeds and thought...
I don't think so.
Amram came out and said it. He came out and said there's no pace and no power in the midfield. Yeah, and we haven't been linked concretely to a midfielder.
No, not concretely. It's all rumours and bullshit.
Yeah.
Our favourite section.
Rio signed for Benfica.
Who signed it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The one we thought.
We were going to sign.
Yeah, Rios. But now the young midfielders come back into the mix again. The rumour mill from Guerrero. Did I say it right? Guerra?
Oh, Jave Guerrero.
Guerrero, yeah.
Yeah.
That's doing the circle.
Valencia midfielder. He's 22.
Yeah, that's the one. He's 22 or something.
Everybody's going with it today now. Apparently, it's nods on that we're signing him, but there's no murmurs or mutterings coming out from the journalists here. It's all Spanish driven.
Mm-hmm. So Spanish outlets and journalists are putting it out there.
Yeah. He's up for renewal, Rory.
He rejected apparently, didn't he?
What they're offering him isn't what they're accepting. Huh?
Is he free?
Is he free?
Is he on a free? No, he's about 20 million.
No, it'd be cost about 21 million.
Okay. I mean, I've never heard of him, so I'm not going to pass it.
No, I can't say much about him or pretend to know that he's going to be a wonder signing. Yeah.
I just know the Manchester United's midfield will not hold this season in a top 10 challenge. From what I've seen, I thought both midfields that played against Leeds were equally as poor. I don't think Ugarte and Manu filled me full of confidence as a partnership, and Casemiro and Collier were so poor that first half. Leeds overran the midfield. It was just Casemiro, you can tell, is trying his best, but he needs an explosive six beside him. He needs somebody to take the ball off him and carry the ball forward in midfield, and that's not Kobe Minu.
No.
Kobe Minu can't burst from deep. He's not a. We compared him mistakenly to Paul Pogba, but he's not. I think it was telling that Amram came out and said well, Minu can play in the 10 positions. And I think that was Amram turning around and saying, I don't really think the guy's a centre midfielder.
He's not a six.
No, he's not a six.
So he's brilliant feet and he's an eye for goal. I think he could be one of them squad 10s.
I'd sell him, to be honest. I don't know where he fits.
I know it's hard to put your finger on.
There's murmurings that Tottenham are looking at him and looking at the contract situation, that he hasn't signed an extension yet.
I'm sure that's where he fits. I mean, he's a young fella that wants to play football, and each time I see him for Amram in Amram's system, when he played under Ten Hag, he was this kind of floating six in behind the 10 and playing in front of the holding midfielder with Bruno Fernandes, and he sort of semi-suited that. And then under Ruben Amram, he's been given more responsibility as the six because he has to come back more and he has to protect that right side of midfield. And then I think against Leeds, he was pivoted on the left side of midfield to allow Ugarte in there, and it just looked and thought,
yeah, he wants him to.
But he's a bit low.
He wants him to dictate more. Sit back. I don't think so. I think that's why. I think the striker is going to be the next priority.
Yeah. With the figures, I don't know how we afford it.
Yeah, it's big money.
Yeah, and I think if you buy a striker next, right? I'm expecting Amram to be sacked by January or to leave by January. I think he'll walk by January because there's no point signing 2 10s and a striker if your midfield is awful and the right hand side of your defence is getting, or left hand side, is getting battered by Leeds. Leeds, who got newly promoted, tearing apart our left hand side. Our midfield couldn't live with them, but we sign a striker and we're going to get into the top half of the table. We will not.
You need to sort every piece of the jigsaw. You need the striker, you need a midfielder, 100%, and you need a goalkeeper.
Yeah, which we can't do because we're broke. So we can't buy players at the minute until we sell players. We're getting no money for Rashford. We're getting 25 million for Sancho when Juventus can spend it. So we're going to have to wait for them to sell Timothy Weah. There is no one in for Garnacho. There is no one concretely in for Tyrell Malacia. So it'll come to a point where he's going to have to look at it and go, right, we're 2 weeks out from the season. Do we sign a midfielder or a striker? And every United fan I talk to keeps talking about a striker. It's like, if you sign a striker and don't get a midfielder, you're in the bottom half of the table again, in my opinion. That midfield is not good enough to compete with the top 7.
I don't know. I think, if it didn't get the striker to January, and they keep Hoyland, you have Hoyland, Xerxes, Cunha, and Mbeumo. Both of their new signings can play as a 9 as well. And you put Bruno further up the pitch. Now, if you sort the midfield first, if we do get players out the door, would it be something worth accepting that we don't get the striker in the summer?
Yeah, we need a midfielder first here.
If we can get the midfielder.
Yeah, it's priority.
Yeah.
We do need a striker as well, I think, but definitely a midfielder.
There's talk of Palhinha on loan. Don't know if that's any weight to it or not.
Didn't put a cheeky loan bid in for Martinez?
Did they?
Yeah.
Which Martinez?
Martinez, Aston Villa, the goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah. The keeper I rejected or something.
Yeah. But it was a loan deal.
What else is doing it to us? I don't see why we shouldn't try and do it to the rest. If it has to be with a loan with an option to buy, that's what we're getting handed to us because we can't afford to buy.
Not?
But the problem is people are coming to us and loaning players that we don't want. Aston Villa don't want to sell Lammy Martinez. They're hoping he stays. So they're never going to accept a loan deal. United will have to cough up a brave chunk of cash to sign Lammy Martinez. Palhinha doesn't make sense to me because Casemiro and Ugarte are there. We don't want to play with 2 holding midfielders. We want to play with 2 6s because we've got 3 at the back.
I think we need an energetic 6 that can play with the likes of Casemiro was sitting deeper.
Yeah, you need an all-rounder. You need to carry the ball forward at pace with skill and find a pass. Bruno Fernandes played in the Europa League final and I thought he was very poor.
I agree.
Which is why I was shocked when Bruno said he was going to stay because Amorim must have made him heavy pledges as to where he's playing. But where does Bruno play now?
That's a big question mark, I think. I've seen a lot of things going around, kicking themselves. Should we have took the 100 million?
We didn't want to go though.
I thought
he didn't want to go.
He really endeared me to him when he made that statement. I thought his statement was brilliant.
Yeah.
Wrong. Where do you play with? You're not.
Yeah. Do you know I love Bruno. Their captain, and he's been probably the best signing we've had post Fergie, arguably.
The thing about it is in this tour now, with Cunha and Mbeumo both in and both training and both will play, you'll get a good indication with the matches that are played on the tour. Where all the pegs are going to fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you. But then I was when I went and seen the Leeds game and Bruno Fernandes was playing as a 10 because I expected Casemiro to be playing in midfield with Bruno Fernandes and them to gel that sort of partnership and get that going. But he chose to give minutes to Toby Collier. And then it was almost like flippancy. It reminded me of Ten Hag a bit in that he did that, which was a mental decision. Then immediately afterwards comes out in the presser following the game and says, we're lacking pace and power in midfield. But you picked Toby Collier to partner Casemiro and it didn't work. Then you picked Ugarte to partner Min and it didn't work. It just, to me, it was like, what are you trying to say here?
Was he trying to say something to the board though?
Maybe.
What?
I need a midfielder with pace.
Yeah. Trying to show case in point. If you put
Toby Collier,
if we start the season against Arsenal in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
God love us.
Against Gyökeres.
Gyökeres, that's right.
And the midfield that Arsenal have at their disposal. It's with the midfielders we have, it's not going to be fun.
They'll run right through us.
There's only so much the board will take too. So if I'm Ruben Amorim right now, right, and I go to the board and I say, Jason, Omar, I need a midfielder. Why do you need a midfielder? Because I've no pace and power in midfield. You've got Kobe Mainoo, Casemiro, Manuel Ugarte, Toby Collier, and Bruno Fernandes. Oh, well, no, I'm going to play Bruno as a 10. Right, well, which one of the signings are you dropping out? Because we just spent 130 million on Cunha and Mbeumo.
Exactly.
You better not be playing Bruno Fernandes over those players. And then they turn around and say, "Oh, right, well, put Bruno Fernandes in midfield. I don't want to play Bruno Fernandes in midfield." Then what do we keep him for? You want to play him as a 10? We spent 130 million on 10s. You won't play him as a midfielder. So to your point, one might get what he should be trying to do this pre-season, but his first opportunity he chose not to.
Well, keyword there first. So I'm not going to hit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Was Cunha and Mbeumo in now? He has the opportunity to tinker that formation.
I know. Like everyone's trying to guess where Mbeumo is going to play.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that right hand side now though. With Amad and Mbeumo on the side, and Lenny Yoro, and it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, there were rumours I've seen circling around. United have signed their striker, that he will rotate Mbeumo, Højlund and Cunha in that position, kind of like what he tried to do with Bruno with the false 9, and go with that up front. I don't like that.
What about all these rumours about Benjamin Sesko?
I've seen a lot of them now recently. They're willing to deal at 60.6 million.
What is he?
Do you know who's pushing it? Apparently, is it Christopher Febel?
The
head of recruitment, isn't he? Head of recruitment now, but he was attached to RB Leipzig.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah.
61 million, Rory.
But what has he done that Højlund hasn't? His top goal scoring season was 14 goals. So was Højlund's. Only Højlund's in the Premier League.
Højlund's was more than that, actually.
Do you know what has Benjamin Sesko done to come in and replace Rasmus Højlund? If United sign him or Jackson, I give up. I just don't see what direction they're going in. £61 million when you should be buying a midfielder on a lad that can't outscore the striker that we had in the first place. And what's he going to do? He's not the sort of lad, Mum, that picks the ball up deep, takes a few on and pops it in the top hand corner. He's Jackson Højlund. He wants fed.
No, I don't know much about him now, but that's all the gossip this past week has been about Benjamin Sesko.
You see, it's probably, I know, I think it's again, thrown because we have a connection there, because Viveld has been recently connected to Sesko. It's going to be, Viveld's at United now. United need a striker. Let's throw out loads of stories and
join the dots.
Join the dots. We'll throw those. That'll get traction. That'll get clicks and likes and retweets and reshares. So it's an obvious connection just to put out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him.
That's my feeling. I don't know about yourselves, but logically, my preferred option would be, we need rid of Garnacho. Garnacho wants to stay in the Premier League. Aston Villa.
Possibility.
Ollie Watkins swap.
Yeah, I would take Ollie Watkins over Benjamin.
I would take Ollie Watkins and swap Garnacho. We're saving $350,000 a week with Rashford. Surely at eventually we'll get, Sancho out of the way. And Anthony, don't forget about Anthony. Still has to get a club.
I'm sure. Well, apparently Atletico Madrid are looking at Anthony.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, see, this is all a party, Rory.
There's nothing concrete again. Apparently Anthony's willing to take away his stop to play for Real Betis. Apparently Ronaldo is willing to take away his stop to go here. Apparently Jadon Sancho's taking away his stop to go to Juventus. All horseshit.
Any sort of gossip or sound bites are not coming from the British journalists. They're all coming from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
There's just nothing concrete about it.
No, nothing.
It doesn't really bear thinking about. Like, apparently you drive yourself mad. Also, we'll sell Anthony to flipping Atletico Madrid and Garnacho will go for 100 million. It's so hypothetical nonsense. No. I don't think Aston Villa will take a gamble on Alejandro Garnacho because he'll want the sun and stars. I think if he gets a champion or he gets a Premier League move, Kieran, it'll be Chelsea. And if Chelsea aren't interested, he needs to go abroad.
Yeah, but he had to find somewhere because they've all been left behind. I think after the quote we've seen at the end of last season, like apparently Amram said to him, "You may find another club. You'll not be back here," or something along those lines. After what he had tweeted or done on social media again, that his time at the club was over. So, and there is a World Cup coming up.
I don't think anyone wants him.
I wouldn't blame them, to be honest. He's a rat.
And he hasn't really done anything. He's been a good player for us. Context bomb. He's been a good player for us, right? In a very, very bad spell for Manchester United. He has done nothing. He scored a bicycle kick, and young fellas get his haircut. That's his claim to fame. He's done nothing. Argentina team won't even entertain him going off to the internationals because apparently he's a stroppy wee yap.
Sure, didn't he do that with Argentina?
That's what I'm saying. The Argentinian team won't even take him at the minute. They won't take him. He's been dropped from Argentina. He's in trouble at Manchester United. His brother and his Instagram account are making him look like an idiot. And if he is such a talent as everybody thinks, the world and its dog knows he's for sale. I haven't seen one club come to United and say, how much for Garnacho?
Yeah.
No, there's been no inquiries apparently.
None. Nobody.
You don't remember when he liked posts and all criticising his own international teammate, Ornez?
Yeah.
That was one of the big things as well. Like, you're brave.
Yeah. And say what you want to the Rashford fans, but Rashford plays for Barcelona now. He's gone to a massive club. Do you know what I mean? Like, Garnacho's not getting a smelly one, and Rashford, I just seen the post there, he's taking the number 14. And he's got to move through to Barcelona. Scumbag, hateful, but it just shows that the world still thinks that Rashford is footballing him.
Yeah. I was thinking, I think something's there still. And I wish him all the best now. I hope he does well, but I couldn't say the same for Garnacho, to be honest.
I think Rashford will do well because Anthony did well. I think their players I think Rashford will rip it up at Barcelona. He'll do what Anthony did. He'll just come alive again. I think it's a totally different lifestyle for them. They've got the sunshine. Barcelona has its own beaches. Football club treats you like you're an absolute king. He'll love it there. And he's in other players that are, God, the standard of Barcelona's talent compared to our talent is ridiculous. Pedri, Gavi, Yamal, Lewandowski is still there. Those are footballers.
Yeah, 110. I'd say he'll rip it up. He'll be a new player.
Yeah, well, hopefully, because then that means I'll get the money for him. Like, I don't wish Rashford ill. He is a bit of a puke, but I was his biggest fan for so long. I think when it comes to like taking that away, and in footballing sense, I never thought Garnacho was that good, but I thought Rashford was that good. Was just brilliant. But I think Garnacho's attitude and behaviour, Mum's right, he's a good player. You know, there, but he's a gamble man.
Oh yeah, but hopefully somebody will take that gamble.
Hopefully.
Well, do we need to, or no more business for us?
They haven't reduced the asking price for him again.
Have they?
Yeah.
And still nobody wants him?
No. Well, Aston Villa are in the mix. Tottenham are in the mix. Chelsea. Are in the mix.
Apparently he wants Villa.
Fair play to him.
Happy days.
Yeah.
There you go. You know, if there's a deal to be done there, a swap.
And he sends that Villa's shirt, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But he
tried it out before.
Maybe.
What?
40 million in Watkins, probably. 30 million in Watkins.
Well, last year, Arsenal bid 45 and it was turned down.
Yeah, I remember that. They were in for Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins and bid 45 and fella said no. Although circumstances have changed, they really annoyed Ollie Watkins when they played Rashford over him. He was
benched a few times, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially near the end of the season. And in their big Champions League game when they needed to beat PSG, that's when Watkins came out and spoke publicly and said, I don't know why they're treating me this way.
Get me out.
It was a really like, do you know what? F you sort of thing. I start for England and this boy can't start for United, and no, I'm not staying here. And this is a slap in the face to have to sit on the bench for him. Although Rashford was doing really well at that point. But horses for courses. I think Marcus Rashford would be a disaster up front for United no matter how well he was playing because he doesn't suit this team. I think Watkins could be good because he's just an out-and-out poacher. Just as it nose for goal type thing. Pokes the ball in the back of the net.
That's it. Yeah, he's a mature player as well.
Yeah, a bit of Watkins too. He's played the Premier League for a while. They were saying that one of the Liverpool fans told me today that their new striker, Ugo Ekitike, is it?
Yeah, correct. Well done.
Thank you. His biggest weaknesses is coming up against physical defenders. He's really struggled in France when he's been manhandled. You're coming to the Premier League.
He's very slight.
You need to bulk up.
Need to bulk up, by.
You know, he reminds me of, not in the way he plays, but in stature. And this is the biggest criticism I have of him, Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz has a real talent for playing football, but he needs to take himself away from the Premier League. He would be incredible if he played in Spain, and he would be incredible if he played back in Germany, where there's less focus on the physical side of the game and more on the intricacies of it. And Havertz is a really silky footballer, but you put it on him in the first 10 minutes and he doesn't want to know.
And like easy pulling off the ball.
Yeah. Harry gets at him.
Yeah, that's right. He's on a match, like fall over. I'm sitting looking at like players like who would be seasoned and small. So Mohamed Salah is a perfect example. I have never seen in all his years that man get bullied on the pitch, and he's so small.
Yeah, but he's good body strength though.
He's a tank, like he's low sense of gravity as well.
Yeah. So here, back to Manchester United and our transfer strategy. Okay, Cunha is in, Mbeumo is in. I'm going to think of the concretes, right? Juventus have said they can't buy Sancho.
Just yet.
Just yet. Okay, Rashford's away for no money, but we get the wages cleared. Suppose it's
16.8 million per year season. Year.
Onana's going nowhere. Malassi's going nowhere. Garnacho we just talked about. Where do you think they need to go now? Do they just hold off now and hope the transfer window is kind to them, or do you think?
I think we all said like once we get the Mbeumo deal done, we're hoping the dominoes start to fall. Now, in the space of a week, we've signed Mbeumo. Rashford's got his move to Barcelona. And one of my best headlines I read, my favourite one, made me happy. Not a Revolver player. Getting on the plane to the US tour, and players have been left at home, not getting on the plane. Manager making a statement. Aren't part of the plans. Find a new club.
Yeah, the club's backing him, Kieran.
Club's backing him and not making. Oh no, you can't do that. You can't do that.
They're not forcing players onto him that he doesn't want in the squad. And that's a good sign.
And Jose Mourinho came out and said that as well this week. That he's glad that it seems like, you know, after the news that the players have been left behind, that they're actually seem to backing him in regards to his player selection and who he wants in the club and who he wants out of the club, which is something that he didn't get, and he said that himself. So no manager since post Fergie has had that. No. I think it's a good message, a good way to start your first full season in summer.
Do you think that if those players were their mum at the end of the transfer window, that he would be forced into incorporating them in the squad?
Oh, that's a big question. That is. It's an awful lot of talent to leave in the under-21s. But if they won't go in the right direction, they're going to have to do that. Or in the end, just give them away for nothing. Just get them out the door. In an ideal world, Garnacho would go for 60 million. Yeah. Rashford would go for the same, maybe more. Jadon Sancho, would go for big money. But it's not ideal. We have put ourselves in that situation that the manager has ostracised players because of their attitude, and their attitude has been highly publicised in papers and media and all the rest. So it's not an ideal situation, but I think that the club are working, I hope that the club are working very hard to get those players out that door, that they won't have to make that decision whether to force those players onto that manager and destroy the harmony again in the dressing room. Because they're upstarts.
Yeah.
They are, and I think I think we're starting to see the first fruits of the new era of Manchester United. That it's Barada and Wilcox, and Wilcox spoke really well when Bryan Mbeumo was signed. And something hit me when I was thinking about United. And I watched the Mbeumo thing this morning. I just remembered they're brand new. Omar Barada has never had this role before. Jason Wilcox was a director of football for a month and a half before United snatched him up to be the technical director. You know, these people are brand new and find their way in this. So maybe I can't say this with any certainty, but maybe those are the delays in the transfer negotiations at the minute. We're watching people new into roles finding their way through this. And if we have to suffer that for Jason Wilcox to turn around to Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho and say, you're not getting on the plane, boys. Oh, but we're still part of the club. I don't care. I do not care. I don't even want to have a conversation with you. And I am telling you now, and your agents, you will not play again for Manchester United. Go and engineer moves and come to me with options and I will assess them and work with you. And I think that if that is the direction United are going in, I'm all for it. I'll suffer another 50-50 season if we can culturally reset the club as a consequence.
But another point to make, Rory, is that those, the bomb squad, they're calling them, aren't they? Those players that they're hoping to sell, right? They, under contract, they can go and use facilities in Carrington. But under instructions, they were told not to go near Carrington until the first team had left. They were allowed to train at Carrington after 5 o'clock in the evening. That's when they were allowed into Carrington. So he wants them nowhere near the squad.
Doesn't want their influence or
first team players. Yeah. And that's how determined they are to get them out the door.
Well, I mean, obviously he has seen behaviours that are unbecoming a Manchester United player, and he has chosen to offer these players. And maybe I have to eat my words as a consequence of that on Luke Shaw, because he seems to like Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw played the opener in the friendly, played as a left centre back. Maybe he sees something in Shaw, and to that, bringing Shaw into the defence, I think means that United might, and I say this 50-50 in my head, might get away with not having to make defensive reinforcements. Because when you think about it, you've Shaw, Martinez, and Aidan Heaven can play left centre back. You've got Harry Maguire and Matthijs de Ligt can play the central row. And then you've got Lenny Yoro, Mazraoui, who can play the other side of it. Fredrickson will push, although I'm not sure on that point.
Push, yeah. My mass went down.
Well, he's in the tour, so you'll get a chance to see more of him.
I mean, Amram seems to like him. Amram sees something in him. I mean, he played him. He gave him his professional debut last season. He came on against Leeds. I read that he's away on the tour with him, that Amram loves his attitude and loves his willingness to play wherever he's wanting him to play. You know, sometimes...
He didn't look too bad, though, did he?
I thought he did all right.
When he debut, he got caught, the ball went over his head. And
the ball was over Dallow's head numerous times. And Dallow's a seasoned professional.
Dallow's a wing back in this system, Mum. You can't do it as a centre back. Your three centre backs must win every header. They must be very, very reliable in the air. You can't get caught positionally. If the ball goes over your head and somebody behind you scores, you didn't shift your feet quick enough to get up to the ball, in my opinion. Paolo Maldini used to say, if I have to make a tackle or an interception, I've already made a mistake. And that's the best defender ever. Just he wanted... You think about the defending side of the game, make sure you're in the right position, the ball will come to you. You'll naturally intercept the ball. A lot of our players seem like headless chickens on corners and set pieces, and it's worrying.
Especially Dallow. When defending them.
Martinez was really poor at them before he went off. De Ligt and Maguire are quite strong, but you expect that of them.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Lenny Yoro gets a bit. He doesn't seem to have grasped the man in France, but now he's coming
confidence in it, Nick.
I think it's just.
I think he's brilliant at taking the ball forward.
Oh, he's unreal.
Yeah.
Do you know what? He does it, and I'm looking at him going, "That's a young Varane."
Oh yeah.
And I don't think he's poor in the air. I think it's an experience thing, to your point, Kieran. I think he's played in France for a while now. He comes in, he sees the Premier League is the only league you play in the world where you're going to play 19 games against 19 different styles, 19 different teams with 19 different, ideas of how you go forward and you attack. And a lot of those teams, especially the the likes of Leeds and stuff is whip the ball in and cause a bit of chaos and hope you get a goal.
Yeah.
Seems to be a strong head of the ball.
I think to that point, I don't know if you ever did any seen recently. They interviewed Aidan Heaven. Any see it?
And it is mom.
No, it was something. I don't know. I can't remember the interviewer. But he mentioned that he was one of his focuses this season was to get more goals in the air, header, set pieces. Which is something we kind of. I'll teach him. Big head, slab head.
Yeah.
But that's what you want. That's what you want from your defenders as well. You want when we get a corner.
He's very good with the young fellas.
Yeah,
and he's very good.
That's why
the arm around the shoulder, instructing them. Because I just noticed, and it was Diego Leon in the game against Leeds, and who was it? Bruno Fernandes talked to him constantly.
Yeah,
and that's what you need. The older members of the squad talking to the young fellas constantly. Not remonstrating with them or anything, but just saying, look, keep your head down, keep it level, all that sort of good stuff. And that's what they need. They need somebody in that team to be vocal.
Yeah. Sorry, Roy, go on.
He doesn't speak English, so he needs a bit of confidence from his teammates who do speak his language to turn around and say, look, if you're that age and you've just come from South America, your first move away from home, and you're playing, you're playing Stockholm for Manchester United, you're playing Leeds, you would just be like, no matter how confident you are, your stomach would be doing butterflies. And when he got caught by Bogle, it knocked his confidence a wee bit.
Oh, he's a good player though, Rory.
Oh, he looked good.
He impressed me
very
big
good.
time.
Why are we not in for him?
Don't know.
I would take him at right back any day of the week. He was unreal.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
Him and Nanto gave poor Pedro Leon a really horrible 45 minutes.
Well, welcome to the Premier League.
Yeah. May as well learn him early.
Yeah.
Very, very true. But
I like that to your point, Jacqueline. Sorry, just sort of about the senior players talking, and I noticed it with Tom Heaton and Cheetah Wobie as well.
Yeah.
It's something you want to see, and I'm excited. I hope Cheetah Wobie gets a few more chances this season.
Yeah, but that was my point, Kieran, that the senior players in that Man United team, if they're going to integrate, young players and players coming from different leagues, they have to be vocal.
Yeah.
They have to keep instructing them through the match, and that's what Bruno Fernandes was doing with Diego Leon. He talked to him all through that half, which is necessary in my mind.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
And United keeping Luke Shaw will be a positive thing, because Shaw will be at left centre back and Shaw will know exactly what those boys need. It's the Ajax mentality. If you've played at left back for so long in your career and now you're at left centre back, you know where you need to be. You know what you need to say to Pedro Leon. You know how you need to communicate with him and Dorgu to turn around and help them through a game. So Luke Shaw could be a big influence for United for those two boys in left centre back. But throughout that point, Mum, all I could think in my head was, you're exactly right. But we don't have a senior striker. So why in the name of God would you sign Benjamin Sesko? What is Robert Ireland and Cheetah Wobie going to learn from Benjamin Sesko? Go and get Ollie Watkins. It's crying out for Ollie Watkins. It's not glamorous. There are a lot of United fans, including my friend Brendan O'Hara, who will text me and say this club is over and we're doomed. But in the grand scheme of things, you can learn from Watkins. He's been in the Premier League for years. Movement, positioning, where to be, how to run, when to run. You learn these from boys that you can respect. If Benjamin Sesko came to me and said, I think you should be doing this, and I was Rasmus Højlund, I'd be like, fuck off. Go away from me.
Just not Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
No, I don't want the handbag. I don't. I just don't think. I think he checked out from football here.
I don't want to
either. With Mason Mount, Kieran, that's enough of a sick note.
Here, young Mason.
I hope Mason does well.
While now.
Huh?
Young Mason hasn't been injured in a while.
All right. No. Cross your fingers.
I think this is his longest spell uninjured.
Well, they were very, very careful with him, weren't they? They didn't rush him back, or even attempt to rush him back. Well, even though they needed him at times.
Could Mason Mount be the answer in centre midfield?
I was trying to say that earlier.
If he
keeps
fully fit.
If he keeps fit.
Could you
fully fit?
A midfield of Manuel Ugarte on the right and Mason Mount on the left in midfield?
You could try it.
Yeah, or Casemiro on Mount.
Yeah. And Mbeumo on the right, Fernandes on the left, and Cunha up front.
And you've Ahmad to throw in there as well.
Ahmad right wing back.
So drop Dallo to the bench.
Pedro Leon, left wing back.
Or Dorgu.
Yeah, but boys, you're missing the big picture here. Okay, that's the first team. We need a squad.
Well, plenty of squad. It was actually this
that's
year
what
too.
I mean. It's keeping all those players happy that there's no upstart sitting on the bench going, why aren't I picked?
Yeah.
Well,
he wants to
see in the Leeds game.
He was in Carrington doing extra gym. He was doing extra gym work. I think he had a wee nickel or something. He was still back. He was back in Carrington.
I thought that was talent. Chido
No,
in America.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see where that man's deployed. But look, I want to introduce this, okay? We only have a minute or two left, week on week, while transfer season is going on, right? Can't talk about scores, can't talk about results, heroes, all that. So, Kieran, by the time we catch up next week, who are Manchester United going to sing? It's okay if you get it wrong. Tell me your name.
What do you call it? I don't want to butcher your name because you said Ekatike so well. I feel under pressure now. Is it the Antwerp keeper, Lemens? Is it? Is that how I say it?
Oh yeah.
Lemens. I think to bring him in as a young keeper, I think might be there's some weight to that there. I think maybe we'll sign him, but I'm hoping for Ollie Watkins, but I can't see it because there's no whisper or sound or anything about Garnacho going anywhere or anything like that there. But
doesn't really seem to be anything happening anywhere here. But
no, it's very worrying at this stage. There's been nothing in the way of Garnacho. But I'm going to say my pick's the keeper.
Mother?
I go with Kieran. Or do I have to pick somebody different?
Not up there, right?
Well, not exactly what I was hoping. You better run it next week, okay?
Just throw a mad name in there for the crack.
Yeah, go for it, Mum. Who do you think United could sign by next week? You don't have to be bang on. Just be interested to see who gets one right over the course of the summer.
Okay, I'll go for Benjamin Sesko.
Oh.
You said pick one.
Actively try and annoy me. I can tell.
It's a mother-son thing.
And Hoyland will go to Inter Milan.
Who?
Hoyland.
Rasmus Hoyland.
I'd have Hoyland over Sesko. I would. United will sign Ederson from Atalanta. Not even a whisper or sniff of it.
Not a chance.
You think it's just come out of nowhere?
Yeah.
For clairvoyancy, I was just looking across the kitchen and was like, Ederson would be unreal in that position.
Yeah, he would.
Send it out into the universe, maybe the universe will provide.
Yeah. Manifest.
Okay, this week was a bit more of a catch up than a formal podcast. Next week we'll be back with 4 topics, but thanks for listening to us natter on about Manchester United's transfer flights. Mum, thank you for editing this. You do a pretty good job. Kieran, thanks for the
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Boring as hell, but somebody has to do it.
Glad to be back in therapy.
Yeah.
Does me wonders. Right, folks.
Bye, folks.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good week.